Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Filled with Malice Plays. Today is a special. I'm going to play Contra for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This is also going to be a live recording, so whatever happens, happens. Whatever I say, I say. And as long as my back holds out, I probably won't cut anything out. It's been fun. I blew my back out about 2 weeks ago, and I was feeling all better until I woke up 2 days ago and sneezed and proceeded to blow my back out again. Oh, what fun. But anyway, this is one of my favorite games of all time. I've been playing this since 1989 or so, and this was one of the big two-player games that me and my friends would play. It got to the point where we played this so much that if either one of us died, we would reset the game. And we would beat it all the time. So that should be an indicator of just how much we played this game in the early 90s. Now, I'm most likely not going to do a perfect run on this. I haven't played it that much in the past 15 years or so. But, first boss. Now, those that are familiar with, Contra 4 on the Nintendo DS, looks very similar, doesn't it? But it's a lot easier. This game is a lot easier than Contra 4. I've read where they talk about which game is the most difficult for the NES, and this one always pops up. And I don't understand why. It's not particularly difficult. Number one for me has always been Battletoads. That is easily the most difficult game I've ever played. And right behind that is Ninja Gaiden. That game is quite painful as well, especially when you hit 6-2. Talk about horrors. But this game, I mean, if you noticed, I didn't even put in the Konami code, because I really don't need it. Now I'm just running the gauntlet. No big deal. Very, very simple. Simple design. Now, I believe this game is actually better than the original arcade. Oh, shit. See? No perfect run. Oh, do I want the dreaded fire gun? No, I don't. The fire gun we used to affectionately call the fucked gun, because if you got it, you were fucked. And it really hasn't changed. I still think that is the worst gun in this game. Now the trick is always take your time, take the shooters out first, and then take these power cells, or whatever they call them, out. Now this boss is not particularly difficult. Just sidestep or shoot your way through, and lather, rinse, repeat over and over again until you win. And I'm playing quite sloppy, but no big deal. And that's level 2. Again, very, very simple, very easy. No big deal. One of the biggest mistakes that people that are new to this game make is they move too fast. Speed kills you in this game. Slow and methodical wins the day. Probably the only good use of the fucked gun. Oh, Jesus Christ. Get that. No. Wow, I'm playing really, really poorly. I cannot believe this. I even did a trial run, and I blew right through this game. Should have recorded that son of a bitch. I only died twice in the whole game. You know, it's just the way it is. Oh, got my spray gun back. I'm a happy camper. Now everything should be much easier. Provided I don't die. Take your time. Always take your time. One of the things that differentiates these two versions, like the arcade and this one, is you're not on a timer. Granted, these bosses are also slightly different as well. Like this one looks totally different. And actually, I think it looks better. And now, real easy. Just stand and fire. They give you a nice cue as to where to stand, and you're done. That is level 3. Real easy. There's 8 levels in this game. Not a big deal. It's actually the same number of levels that are in the arcade. The difference being the arcade called 2 of the bosses, I believe, separate levels, when it's just not the case, and one of them was the boss that we just faced. These can be a bit tedious. Now, one of the things I'm worried about is with all the NES flicker, I'm wondering how this is going to record, because the recorder likes 30 frames per second and the NES runs at 60. So I don't know how it's going to handle all these gunfire flickers. It might look really, really horrendously bad. And I don't know if there's going to be anything I can do about that. As you can see, there's nothing particularly noteworthy when you go through this game. It's just literally see the bad guy, shoot them. Don't get hit. One hit, you die. No big deal. Now, the electrical field there in front of you doesn't kill you, but it'll freeze you in your spot. And I'm not using any kind of auto-fire controller. I don't have an NES Advantage or anything like that. It's just button mashing. I just got done fixing my old NES controller, my favorite one. Don't land on me. Good. And now we're on to the boss. Yet again, take your time. Don't shoot. Don't die like that. It's really fucking stupid of me. Makes this boss really difficult, because they have these tiny little things to shoot, and with the spray gun, it makes life a lot easier. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Ain't that a bitch? Okay. Whew. I am really playing poorly here. Oh, thank God. Managed to escape. Now we're on to the next level, and I have a whopping 2 lives. Yeah, oh boy. That's how poorly I'm playing. I should have about 7. That's always a bad thing. Son of a bitch. I thought I hit them all, but I was wrong. Now, those guys pop up at you, and where they use pop-up. This is where the enemies start getting really cheap. This is really where they get cheap. Start jumping into you and doing all kinds of whizzy shit. Now, even if you don't intend on getting a particular weapon, you should shoot the... There we go. That's a screen nuke. Oh, I actually hit the son of a bitch. It's my lucky day. Got my spray gun and... There we go. Got it. Now, if you have just a regular gun and you go up against that guy, if you aren't the fastest thunder thumber on the planet, you will die. There's no way around that. Oh, is he gonna hit me? Nope. Just miss. Perfect. Now, here's where the first surprise, this is a really cheap move, like that. And you're gonna run into a whole bunch of these soon. It's gonna be a very common thing that you're gonna come across. So now, unless you have experience and know exactly where to stand, that's actually quite difficult, that little spot where you have to go past and duck. And now Thunder Thumb. Spray gun makes life so much easier. And now we're off to the final gauntlet run. They call it, I think they called it the maze. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not the... Now we're going through this zone. This one's like a reprieve. But one thing the enemies learn to do is duck and shoot now. So even if you're prone, you're exposed. It's the first time you're gonna see it. And you gotta drop here, unless you're in two-player. See, cheap enemy placement. Cheap enemy placement. Take your time, you're not on a timer. Very important. It's not the arcade, you're not on a timer. Just wait for your opportunity, they'll both fire. And then you can go. That's your invincibility. Now it's... move as fast. This is the only time I'm going to tell you, go as fast as you can, because it's not as doesn't last as long as you would hope. This boss is supremely cheap. As you can see, I just escaped. But again, the spray gun is by far the best. I love the thing. It just makes life so much easier. Now, this one has a lot of traps for those that are not familiar with this level. A lot of noob traps. And I just fell into one. Well, that's not really a noob trap. That was me being an idiot. Oh, shit. That was the spray gun, I think. Now they'll just die and you get free points. When they run into it and die, I believe you get free points. That's always a good thing. That one. And then you get shit like that, where you get the supremely cheap enemy jump up. Now, those carts will kill you. That should have killed me. And we got invincibility. Now we're gonna take off. At least a machine gun. That was a spray gun I missed. I at least made it to the easy way out. And here's another one of those traps. You just pop up, kill people in a hurry. La-di-da, alternating. This is another one where you either have to have an automatic or you have to be supremely fast. Too cheap. More cheap. And you hope he doesn't jump, and he didn't. Holy shit. I was really slow on the uptake there. Run to the corner. This is actually faster. When you are using the spray gun, you can just absolutely wipe the floor with that one. And now we're on the final level. I'm up to a whole 3 lives. Right where I began. And that's a machine gun that I don't need. And I hope I don't miss the spray gun that comes up later in the level. Bastard. This is exciting stuff. I mean, just literally watching me run against a wall and fire a gun. These guys are really, really cheap. That's the gun. Now I'm gonna wait to get that. I want to get this thing out of the way. Now I can't take a risk. I have my spray gun back. Lay waste. And there we go. One of the things that I love about Contra 4 is it has a lock-on button, so you don't have to run like a goober while aiming in your diagonals. So you're not having to do what I'm doing, which is either stop and jump or run and turn around and do all this other horse shit. Again, I'm taking my time because I'm going to be attacked. That's how much of this fucking game I remember all these years later. And here we go. Final boss. First thing, take these the fuck out. And now attack the brain. And watch for that. Holy shit. Done. Game's over. That's it. That's all it is. Now, is it really one of the hardest Nintendo NES games ever made? No, not at all. But it does take a lot of practice to get to this point. But anybody that's really, really serious that wants to do this, it's not that complicated, and it's an excellent, excellent two-player game. Congratulations, you've destroyed the vile Red Falcon and saved the universe. Consider yourself a hero. Now that was a top-notch ending. Number one, you got to see the island blow up, you got to see a helicopter fly away, and you got a thumbs up from the staff. Most games of this era, you know, is basically game over. Or, you win. And that's it. And then you get this stuff where you get to look at a bunch of Japanese names that mean nothing to you at this point. And even they're so full of misspellings and this, that, and the other thing, so it's almost impossible to identify who is who. You know, other than looking through the individual contributors' history. Because, for example, Miyamoto's misspelled numerous times, including in The Legend of Zelda, for example. So you don't even know. But anyway, this has been my Let's Play of Contra for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Take care, and Happy New Year to everybody!